Hello there, geeks and gamers. I'm MarcTheCyborg, and here are some of the fascinating new release games coming out in February 2020. One Punch Man is one of the best anime in existence and is a perfect example of how to deconstruct a genre while still being a good example of it. One Punch Man parodies the shonen genre of anime, in which the hero character is traditionally incredibly powerful. But as Mahler points out in his Force Awakens critique, the show is incredible at utilizing that exaggerated level of power to tell a good story. The titular hero, Saitama, is essentially invincible and defeats every enemy in one punch, and this team-based fighting game balances him in a very unique way. Essentially, if you choose Saitama as part of your 3-fighter team, you start the match with 2 fighters and Saitama travels to the match for 120 seconds. This forces you to survive with a short-handed team for 2 minutes against a full team of 3, but if Saitama arrives, you win, so long as you can land one punch before the round timer clocks out. Dragon Ball FighterZ was incredible, so hopefully this game follows in its footsteps rather than the poorly received Jump Force, when A Hero Nobody Knows comes to Steam, PS4, and Xbox One on February 28th. I flat out would not have a YouTube career if it wasn't for Yakuza. The first review I ever made was on Yakuza 0, and initially it was just an exercise in how to explain to my buddy Fonz that Yakuza 0 is an awesome game that he probably wouldn't like. The Yakuza games are a quirky blend of open-world crime game, beat-em-up, JRPG, and visual novel. They're amazingly fun and interesting, and if you haven't ever played one before, I recommend starting with Yakuza 0. However, once you've finished Yakuza 0, Kiwami, and Kiwami 2, if you're on PS4, you can pick up Yakuza Collection on February 11th for Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 in one package. I play on PC, so I'm going to have to wait a bit longer, but this is the interesting games coming out this month, not the most interesting games coming out for MarcTheCyborg this month, damn it. If you'd like to learn a bit more about Yakuza and see my first gaming video ever, my full review of Yakuza 0 is linked in the description. This game has been one of the few PlayStation titles to ever be in early access, and it's a bit hard to describe, but at its core it's a toolset which allows people to make their own content. Developed by Little Big Planet studio Media Molecule, Dreams will live or die by its community and what they create. Media Molecule is certainly making their own content, which will ship with the final game, releasing this month, but the meat of the game is up to the community and their imagination. If you're interested in a career or even a hobby as a game developer, Dreams is something worth looking into, as it offers a suite of user-friendly tools which people are already doing crazy stuff like recreating Dead Space in. So if you think you've got the imagination and the free time to create something amazing, make Dreams your Valentine on February 14th. Mega Man and Mega Man X have already had their games collected into the Legacy collections, and now the Mega Man X spin-off series, Mega Man Zero, is getting its games collected into a package for PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. I've always really loved the Mega Man X games and never got around to playing Mega Man Zero, so hopefully I'll have the time to check this one out, as the Mega Man games are one of the pillars of the challenging 2D action game genre, which subs of my channel will know I enjoy quite a lot. If you've never played any of them before, I recommend starting with the X collection, as they are a bit more modern than the original games, but Mega Man 2 is a gaming rite of passage, so I recommend picking up the original Mega Man Legacy collection if you're up for a true challenge. Vanquish is always my answer to the question, which game do you always wish got a sequel? This Platinum Games third-person shooter is what you get when you put Gears of War in a blender with the zanier aspects of the Metal Gear series, Max Payne, and a kinetic anime. Your exosuit not only lets you slow down time, but rocket slide between cover points at breakneck speeds while shooting an army of robots in the face. It's so amazingly fun, and for years was stuck on Xbox 360 and PS3, running at very unfortunate frame rates. But years ago a Steam port came out, and that version just cooks. It is incredible looking. Ever since, I've been hoping Sega would port it to PS4 and Xbox One, as I wanted console gamers to see what I was seeing when I was playing through the Steam version. For one sticker price, you'll also be getting the original Bayonetta game. Everybody's favorite witch waifu is a Nintendo exclusive series these days, but if you haven't played the original game, it's fantastic. The combat feels incredible, the game looks great, and Bayonetta is one of the sexiest characters of all time. Give it a shot, and if you love it as much as I do, it may give you an excuse to buy a Nintendo Switch so that you can play Bayonetta 2 and the upcoming Bayonetta 3. But Nintendo, just release your games on PC, it would make all of us so happy. Even if big boob butt-kicking goth waifus aren't your thing, this package is absolutely worth picking up for Vanquish. I made a more detailed impressions video of Vanquish last week, so if you'd like to learn more, link in the description, baby. Those are the games I think are worth checking out in February, but once again, you never need to play a game on day one, and you work hard for your money, so be smart with it. Play older games, buy games on sale, and make sure you always consult content creators you trust before dropping the big bucks on a new release. But I hope I've helped you keep your finger on the pulse of the interesting releases coming out this month, should any of them interest you. That being said, Iron Man VR and Ori and the Will of the Wisps were both delayed out of February, so most of the quote-unquote new games in this video are collections of older games themselves, but some of them are really amazing. Particularly Vanquish. You should definitely play Vanquish. It's a game I will full-on shill for. It's pro bono shilling though, I assure you. Sega doesn't know who I am, won't return my calls, and definitely are not paying me. However, assuming we don't get any more delays, there are some absolute bangers coming out in March, so be sure to stay tuned for the next new release showcase. It's gonna be a doozy. That's all from me today. For Geeks and Gamers, I'm MarcTheCyborg, and you are beautiful.